I'm Thinking of Ending Things is the new movie by Charlie Kaufman, written, directed by, starring Jesse Plemons and Jessie Buckley. I don't know. Sorry. She was great, though.
Oh, fantastic. I don't know her name. I'd never seen her before, but she is great.
She's great.
I'm just going to put it out 5 stars on this movie, dude.
You're going to give it 5?
5 stars.
It really fucked with me, dude. I was watching it, and here's how you know a movie's good. I was watching it, and about 3/4 of the way through, I'm like, okay, I'm pissed. I'm pissed. Like, what's going... And then it all changes in that last, 25 minutes. And you're like, okay.
Oh, so it took you that long to come around.
I thought it was good. Listen, I'm with you. I thought it was great. But I'm watching it, and I watched it with my girlfriend. She bailed with like 30 minutes out of it.
Oh, really?
Because and it's a very
a relationship movie though, and if you're watching it with your girl, it can raise questions, dude.
It wasn't that. It
wasn't?
more. No, it was more so that like. I mean, dude, you're either into his movies or you're not. He's very polarizing in that sense.
Right.
I think he's great. I think Charlie Kaufman's great. I think Adaptation was amazing.
I like all of them.
You're a big fan of Anomalisa, right?
Anomalisa it's disturbed. It's like one of those movies where I was like, oh, and you did the perfect thing to make me sad and existential dread. Yeah. Like, and feeling like I'll never love anyone.
He's a great writer. I mean, everyone knows that. If you're watching this, you probably know that already. You're searching out shit.
Let's
break it down. The basic plot premise is that you have I'm bad at character names. Well, first of all, the character names are implicitly kind of up for debate.
Because it's the same name.
Movie. Yes. Right?
Yeah.
What was his name again? We're the ultimate movie reviewers.
We are. I don't remember.
Listen, you're not coming to this to get a detailed plot explanation.
No, but
you're coming here to hear jokes.
It's about...
You had dude and his girlfriend, and her fucking dick.
They're going to visit their parents... And
going to visit his parents
in the snow.
They live out in this cabin,
and it's surreal. It's very dreamlike, like all of his movies. Mm-hmm. And I felt like it was a perfect explanation of like, and he does this with all of his movies, but it's the dread of existence and looking back on your life and wishing you'd made different decisions and thinking about the choices you made. And thinking if they were right or wrong, which is scary.
That's his whole game, dude.
Yeah.
That's his whole game. That's why, people would, when this movie kind of initially started popping into social feeds with ads and stuff like that, people were like, oh, it's his first take on a horror film. And then you watch it, it's not a horror movie at all, but it's inherently kind of terrifying because of that.
I would compare Anomalisa to the same thing because there's very disturbing, and that's the best type of horror movie. I'm gonna call it a horror movie because like death, fear, like little, Asian girls with really long hair in their face, like it's all been done. There's intruder movies, home break-ins. It's all been done, but this is stuff where you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm capable of caring about another person. And that's a horror movie. I don't
know if I even exist, really. I feel like I'm just floating.
Right.
Yeah. No, it definitely brings out those feelings, which is like, he's the ultimate. He's good at like manipulating your specific emotions. You know what I mean? Like that's at the end of the day. I thought.
What do you think it was
about? Pretty slow. So, spoiler alert: if you haven't finished it yet, turn this off. But basically. It seems to me like the whole movie is the janitor who we see often, like periodically through inserts.
Interstitially, doesn't really apply to the plot until later.
The janitor is the guy grown up. That's the older version of the guy.
Okay.
And he's looking back, and it's all made up. It's all a figment of its imagination. That's why the girl, her name changes all the time. Like her name is Lucy, and then it changes like 4 or 5 times. What she does changes 4 or 5 times. First she's a writer and she's a poet, then she's a physicist, and then so it's like, and then if you realize it's like the only person who's not changing through the story is him. Like his mom's getting older and older and older, his dad's getting older and older and older.
And then younger.
His mom's then younger.
Right.
His girlfriend, her job changes 1,000 times, her name changes 1,000 times, whatever. So he's the only guy who's not changing. And then, of course, they go get like milkshakes, whatever. the girls at the milkshake place are laughing at him.
Yeah.
Then they go to high school and he throws away the cups and there's like 1,000 other cups, which means this whole thing's happened a bunch of other times.
It's him in his head.
So I think the whole movie is basically the janitor is reflecting on his life and like playing it out as if it would have gone well. Because then, of course, we know that point where the girl comes into the high school at the end.
Yep.
And she talks to the janitor and she describes. He's like, yeah, I don't even remember his name. Like it was just a meaningless interaction. Like every other meaningless interaction I had.
Yeah.
So then you kind of realize, oh, this guy's playing up. He's. I am thinking of ending things as him saying, I'm thinking of killing myself.
Oh, you think so?
That's why I think the name morphs. It starts as I'm thinking of ending things. She's talking about I'm thinking of breaking up with this guy.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the movie, I think it transitions successfully into the janitor saying I'm thinking of ending things. And he's just replaying. He's coming up with like fake scenarios in his mind of if things have gone right. Would have gone right, I should say.
That's the scary thing. That's actually like a very scary thing about life that I find is the things I think about in my head and the realities I play in my head. That's when I really start like fake conversations I'm having, fantasies about how things could go, fantasies about how things should have gone. That's when I'm like, whoa, this is getting scary. This is that janitor in this school just mopping by himself, using his imagination to think of how his life could have gone.
Yeah, and he's watching that movie, and then it's like the joke is he's watching the movie, and then like their relationship ends so perfectly, and it's like directed by Robert Zemeckis, which was a great touch. I was a big fan of that.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But I think that kind of furthers the point too. Is like he's watching a movie, and it's like a obviously fake version of what could have happened. Yeah, so obviously that didn't happen in his life.
But quote the tweet. Quote the meme.
There was a great tweet by someone. I don't know who tweeted this out, but somebody tweeted like 4 of Charlie Kaufman's movie posters, like adaptation. I'm thinking of ending things, anomalies or whatever, and it said, "This is what getting no pussy will do to a motherfucker."
Yeah. It's exactly that.
Yeah.
It's
for sure.
All of his movies are hopeless.
Yeah.
They're all made to make you feel hopeless about life. A lot of them is just like falling in love.
Yeah.
What's the quote from adaptation? You are who you love, not who loves you. Which is like the saddest thing you've ever heard.
Yeah.
It's basically this. He's
a little sad boy. Charlie Kaufman's a little emo boy. And that's why, that's why his select group of people love him. Like, I typically don't, I don't typically like a melodrama or a relationship-centric movie, but his movies are hard not to like.
Yeah. Someone died. That was,
I didn't even hear.
Or got hit by a car.
What? So what do you think it was about, though? That's just kind of what I saw it as.
No.
What did you think as you watched it?
I like your answer better, but yeah, mine was really about, I think it's like, and I mean, it's kind of on the nose, but they talk about like how you experience time. So I think a lot of it is about regret and choices you make in life. And she's a poet and it's kind of following her more than him.
Yeah.
But it's about how making regrettable decision after regrettable decision because it's easier. And then getting to the end of your life and thinking, how did I get here? I didn't want to be here. The only reason I'm here is because I was faced with difficult decisions and I chose the easier route. And now I'm in a place I never wanted to be. And I'm not happy because I wasn't assertive.
It's the thing. And the reason why that movie is so effective is because it doesn't matter who you are on this planet. You've had that thought.
Oh, absolutely.
You've had that thought process of like, am I taking the easy thing out? Am I dodging something? Everyone's had that thought. That's why this movie I think is so successful. But then again, I don't know what the general public's view of this movie is right now. I wouldn't be surprised if people are going to trash it. I think it's good, but I feel like people are going to trash it. I'm out here on wax telling you it's a good flick. You should watch it.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time. But so is Anomalisa, though.
Yeah.
Anomalisa is really good, too. And it's good. I admire anyone that can make me feel. It can make me
dude,
feel.
I mean, he's effective. That's all I'm saying. He's effective at what he's doing. He's a good filmmaker.
If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. Let it fuck you up. Let it fuck your brain up,
dude. Drink a bottle of wine. Call somebody you don't.
I say watch it sober. I say watch it sober. Watch it sober.
No, fucking feel it, dude. Walk through it. Get all wine drunk and be weird and text your uncle or something like that. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, if that's how that affects you, then yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It was so, man, and the acting's great. It's so deliberate and it's so well executed. Yeah. That hits the nail on the head. Bravo. It's deliberate, if anything else. And that is what you want at the end of the day. At least you can be like, that's why I hate when people were like, oh, I like this movie or I didn't like this movie. I'm like, it doesn't really make a difference. The movie is the movie. Right.
Like, they could strike a very specific note, but if that's the note they wanted to hit, then like it doesn't really matter if everyone hated it.
Yeah, it's basically, you may not like tiramisu, but if you ate it, you're like, I get why someone would.
Yeah.
And you would, if you ate a shit tiramisu and you ate a good one, you don't like it. They probably taste the same. They probably taste equally bad or good to you, but you'd recognize real. You'd be like, that's good ass tiramisu and that's bitch ass tiramisu.
I'm thinking of ending things as good as tiramisu.